So I know this sounds crazy, but I honestly think we're gonna get Goldberg versus Gunther at Night of Champions for the World Heavyweight Championship, because I think there's a couple of things that's happened so far that suggest that this match is gonna happen. And if you really just sit back and think about it, it does make a lot of sense. So let's just go right into the first piece of evidence that supports my theory. We saw what happened on Monday Night Raw, where Jey Uso got choked out by Gunther like Melvin did to Jody and Baby Boy for the World Heavyweight Championship. Now, it was interesting for them to allow Jey Uso to pass out, because as wrestling fans, we already know what that means. That once a person passes out, whatever promotion, whoever did this situation, they're trying to protect that wrestler. And maybe this means that Jey Uso will be going for the title sometime in the future. But what's more interesting about this match than Jey Uso losing, although I didn't think Jey Uso needed to have a long title run, that's not surprising to me. I don't hate Jey Uso, but I felt like WWE really didn't know what to do with him post the moment, post WrestleMania. And I think the title run so far pretty much showed that. So why not take the title off of him, hit the reset button, let him come back for the title later when they have something more creative and well thought out to do for this guy, because he deserves better than that. But what's more interesting about this match between him and Gunther on Raw is really the fact that it happened on a random episode of Raw after Money in the Bank, and it had nothing to do with the cash-in. Him losing had nothing to do with the cash-in. And on top of it, when it happened, because we're getting Night of Champions in about 2 weeks, so why couldn't they have waited to Night of Champions, where you have to defend your title, to have Jey Uso lose his title on a PLE? But I think the reason that that happened has less to do with WWE not having faith in Jey, not liking Jey, not wanting Jey to have the title, but more so about them wanting to put the title on Gunther to have him walk into Night of Champions as the World Heavyweight Championship or champion, so they can have the match between him and Goldberg. Now, people would ask why. If you know about Saudi Arabia, if you know about Riyadh, they love legends when it comes to WWE. Where did we get Undertaker versus Goldberg? They love those legends. So by having Goldberg there already appeases that part of it, but to make it a more high-profile match and make sense for it to be on Night of Champions, somebody had to be a champion going in, and I think that's why they put the championship on Gunther right now, to make as much money maybe out of that match as possible. That's what I think that they were trying to do. Now, I've seen people suggest that this match could happen as Saturday night's main event this year, and it would kind of make sense, because it's going to be in Atlanta, Georgia, which we all know is Goldberg's hometown. He was a Bulldog, Georgia Bulldog. Salute to y'all, because y'all had Todd Gurley. But the reason why I'm opposed to that is because if you have to think about it in the mentality of Goldberg, after almost 30 years of professional wrestling, whether it be consistent or non-consistent, however way you guys want to look into it, would you really want to have your retirement match on a show that is known to be riddled with commercials? If you have a 2-3 minute match, which is probably the best thing we'll probably get out of Goldberg, if it's on Saturday Night Main Event, we're only going to be seeing maybe 40 seconds of the match at home. Like, you don't want to have a wrestling match and every 2 seconds they're telling us to buy Dude Wipes or eat Cinnamon Toast Crunch or like, if I'm Goldberg and I'm having a retirement match, I want people to see the entire match for what it is, at home, in person, all of that. So the best way to do that is to have it at a PLE like Night of Champions, right? And the only way I think it can happen at Saturday night's main event is if WWE can find a way to make the match commercial free, which the way that WWE is ran now with the over corporatization of the product, there's no way that I can believe that they'll do that. But if they do, I'll be very surprised. I'll be very, very surprised. That means they really think highly of Goldberg. I was a Goldberg fan growing up. I loved him in WCW, but I don't think that they will move things around in order to support that. The other thing that I want to say that pretty much supports this theory, and this is just a rumor, right? So you could take this with a grain of salt. I already do. They're saying that Goldberg is due to return on a Raw. Now, they're saying it's going to happen sometime soon. So let's say that it happens on a Raw this week or next week. It would not make any sense for him to show up on that Monday Night Raw to build up something for a match that's going to happen next month, right? Because the storyline between him and Gunther is not really that deep. You know, so in a couple weeks, it's easy. Goldberg shows up, Gunther interrupts him. The following week, Gunther shows up, Goldberg interrupts him. They have a breakup fight. They have their match at Nights of Champions. That makes sense. It's right around the corner. Get this match out the way, because we all know for like 6 months to a year plus that this match is going to happen. So why not just have it happen that way? Because I don't know how they're going to stretch out a situation between the two unless Goldberg shows up every other week leading up to Saturday night's main event. But also Goldberg isn't cheap. So the more he shows up on TV, you're going to have to keep paying him that. And with TKO and Endeavor being billions of dollars in debt, reportedly, you kind of don't want to flush your money away on that, right? You want to get the most money from Saudi as possible. So I think those things I just told you pretty much suggest that we're going to get this match at Night of Champions. Although it has not been announced, this is just a prediction. Also, I have a question for you guys. Since Gunther is going to go against Goldberg at some point in time, and Gunther can make a great match out of anybody, do you think this match with Goldberg will be one of Goldberg's best matches ever? Like one of his top 10? Let me know in the comment section. What's your favorite Goldberg moment? I would love to hear that as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. Salute, peace. Have a great day.